Hello, Johnny Petrowski with Outdoors with Johnny P at Red Lake Remote Ice Fishing. Part of our new program we've got here on Upper Red Lake is the new Tucker Snowcats. Most of you that know Red Lake know that it was always plowed roads, plowed infrastructure. You drive your vehicle to the fish house and the outfitter leaves you out there, which is fine and dandy, but the fish are always biting past the end of the road. Well, we've kind of changed the game a little bit. We've introduced the Tucker Snowcats and tracked Chevy Suburbans. So now we load you on shore and we transport you out to the fish houses, similar to most upland lakes. The nice thing about that is you're fishing remote areas, untouched areas, you're not in the crowds, and it's basically a new way to approach Red Lake, and we're actually pretty excited for it. We've got the easy access ladder up into here, and of course, get yourself in here and take a seat and out to the fish house as we go. And part of the new design and actually the I'll call it advancements that we're doing in ice fishing is we've completely changed the design and how a sleeper house is going to be approached. You know, a lot of companies will run either a wheelhouse or a large frame 2x4 stick-built house. And those houses are great, they're warm, they're comfortable, but the trouble is some of these weigh about 8,000 pounds. Ridgeline Manufacturing worked with me, and we came up with this design now on these houses. This house only weighs 2,100 pounds. We put aluminum skis on it. There's a Teflon bottom, ultra lightweight, easy to pull. These houses will go anywhere the track machines will go. So we've got one more thing we've built into this operation, making us exclusive and remote. Part of these things, now these houses just arrived and we haven't finished construction, is each house, especially for the families, will have its own private bathroom. Now, those of you that got children or have taken your wives or whatnot out on the ice know that cold bathrooms are not any fun. These will be semi-heated private bathroom. No more outhouses. No sharing the outhouse with everybody on the lake. Of course, we've done a lot with we even put in double hung, double pane windows, big doors. And once we get these finished, it'll be a little echoey in here. We took a 10 by 20 house and we're only going to sleep 4 in them, so you have a lot of square footage to fish and enjoy yourself. They'll be fitted with vented gas furnaces, full cook stoves with ovens, real mattress bunks, chairs, tables, pretty much everything you need to spend a couple days on the ice. Kind of like a remote cabin that just happens to slide around.
One of the key elements to our tree sales is passive cold storage. I'm standing in front of what's called a nonagon. It's a 9-sided log structure. Built it a couple of years ago to maintain perfect or near perfect storage conditions for bare root nursery stock during the spring. The nonagon, when it's packed with snow, it works real well because the plants are put in tubs with moss bottoms and set directly on top of the snowpack, which keeps the roots at about, just a little over freezing temperature. So the roots are down there saying, no, it's too cold to grow. But the tops, they're up in a little bit warmer air temperature, and they're saying, I want to grow, I want to grow. And so it kind of keeps the plants in a stasis so that they stay in ideal storage conditions that don't cause molding or degradation of the plant quality. When they come out of here, they're ready to go in the ground and start growing. This is our counting and bagging area. In the springtime, I run tarps around these Norway pine to keep the sun and the wind off, and then we use the tables for bagging up our tree orders. We do our counting at the taller table. We dip the roots in a TerraSorb solution, which draws moisture to them for the first growing season, gives them an extra edge. And then the trees are packaged on the shorter table here. They're bagged up, tied to individual bundles, marked what's in each bundle. The roots are packed in sphagnum moss, which incidentally we do harvest on the back 20 acres here. I've got 20 acres of black spruce swamp that's got some beautiful sphagnum moss. there's a whole story in that itself too, because it's not just going in and ripping out the moss. You cut the top layer of living moss back and lay it back, and then you harvest the dead moss from underneath, and then you put the living layer back on top so that it will continue to grow and hasn't been damaged from the process. The moss is really important because that keeps those roots cool and moist and gives them some protection in the bags. This year we had, I think it was a little over 350 clients that purchased trees from us, 350 orders. We moved quite a few plants, and it was very busy, to one of our best tree seasons yet this year. It keeps increasing every year.
And you had all 350 trees in the...
All 350 orders were packed into that nonagon. Actually, they were overflowing. So our plans are the next one. This was a prototype, first one I ever built. Next one will be out of 12 or 16 foot logs and double the capacity. Nonagon's kind of neat because it's kind of like the TARDIS on Doctor Who. It appears, or it's larger on the inside than it appears on the outside. So it's a very efficient way to store plants. This is one of the places when we're doing containerized stock and potted stock. It's a good place to keep it away from the rabbits and the deer and give it some form of protection. I do have it hooked up with irrigation so I can cover the whole thing. We've got a well about 300 feet away from here. It actually is an irrigation well. We get about 27 gallons per minute and about 100 pounds of pressure. So in an hour's time I can water these things completely. Right now what we've got in here is potted stock and a few containerized trees. The potted stock, this was overflow. Plants that I didn't sell this spring, I'll grow them in the pots for at least 2 growing seasons before we sell them, before the roots are developed enough to sell on the commercial market.